Welcome to Cocktailhire and the commercial and corporate side of the events business. On Saturdays we tend to really truncate into the domestic side, house parties, very small events, 30-40 people, private homes. However, Monday to Friday and the other 6 days of the week, we tend to take care of much larger corporate sides of events. We get hired by third-party event companies to come in, take care of much higher scale events, catering to 300 people, 600 people. The numbers are just much larger than the private market that we tend to get on the Saturday. For these events, they involve a much more involved system. Here we bring along many more bars because the capacities are much larger, much more glassware, and a lot more staff are needed for these events. Of course, if you're looking at this video, you are in that scale of events. We have a service where we can install all the bars for you, all the glassware for you, the bartenders are there from us as well, so you've only had to make one phone call to make this happen. Of course, you've all been in the events industry for many years. You know how it works. You get the bartenders from one place, you get the bars from another. You have to then contact another company to get the glassware. And that's 3 or 4 different deliveries that you're having for basically, in effect, one area of your event. With Cocktailhire, we take care of all of those aspects. Therefore, you can just make one phone call and be done with it. We've got a client on Sunday. They love contacting us because they quite simply just give us a location, how many guests there are. We'll deal with the cocktails when we get there. It's super simple for them to save time. And that's why they use us. We'll turn up with plenty of time to build the bar. We'll take care of getting rid of that glassware dirty, the same as the glass companies that you use at the moment. As I said, the only major selling point is you've just only had to make one phone call to make that happen. Our bars are made from a solid metal construction as a base. This is then interchangeable as to what aesthetics you guys want at your event. So we have cladding in the form of wood, LED panels, Chesterfields, which are really super popular at the moment. They just clip to the front and the sides, giving you the aesthetic you want. And then we have multiple bar tops of different colours, which can just simply sit over the top and enclose the entire look. Something else that's never on the commercial event side of the business is sinks. Our bars have full stainless steel sinks with drainage, heavy duty ones. The amount of times we've turned up to events and that it's just been a shelf, sometimes not even a shelf, it's just a bar top and a vacant space underneath. Countless times we've had to run into clearing, steal the grey boxes that are out in clearing and come out and start building some kind of bric-a-brac Lego style bar. We then put the bags of ice into there and we're just carrying so much and we're just wasting so much valuable space, which we could be storing glassware, stock, the important things to make the event run smoothly. Our bars have a dedicated stainless steel ice well, built in, sunk in. Speed rails as well, something in 20 years of commercial events that I've been doing. No bars, it's so rare that you get speed rails. If you don't know what speed rails are, it's basically a rail in which you store the stock bottles and it hangs around down by the bartenders as sort of waist level. Speed rails obviously means that they can access those bottles extremely quickly in a position that their hands are already at. But its most important role for events is it gets the bottles off the work surface. So much space is wasted by having stock on the work surface. With speed rails, you can get those vodka, gins, everything off the work surface down to a level that's much more comfortable for the bartender to work with, and that work surface can now be placed with glassware, garnish trays, those important things that you need, again at arm's length, and a lot of event companies don't like things on the bar top. Therefore, that work surface becomes vital and every square centimetre count. Drainage on those ice wells, again, vitally important. The amount of times at events, if you're using those grey builds, 3/4 of the way into the event, halfway into the event, the ice has melted and now you're sat with a massive swamp of melted ice, which in turn is melting your fresh bags of ice, With the drainage on the built-in sinks, that water is being taken away, so the ice remains ice for so much longer, and your drinks look fresher, and in turn you've spent less on ice supply. The bars are in 1.5 metre intervals, and then simply you just select how many you want. We tend to recommend a 1.5 metre bar for every 100 guests. So if you've got 300 guests, you're going to want 4.5 metres of bar. You can get 2 bartenders behind each of those bar sections, so pretty much for every 100 guests you've got at your event, you're going to want 2 bartenders and 1 section of bar. Glassware, we bring along what we think you guys need. So again, takes it out. There's none of that per glass. How many do you think you need? Your calculations. We just go on a per person basis. We then bring what we believe is required for that per person basis. We bring enough to not need to do any washing up all night, same as what you currently do at the moment. But then we also bring an extra 20% just in case. And then as always, with the event, at the end, everything gets packed away, placed in a van, taken away. Nothing for you to need to worry about. We're not providing any new service. It's something you've had over and over and over, twice, 3 times a week for the last 10 years. The service that we are selling is the fact that you've only had to make 1 phone call, literally 1 email, a text message. Once we've built these relationships with these event companies, it is minimal contact. They can literally just text a date, a location, how many bartenders they need. We can then give them a yes or no, and it's an email from there. Your time is spent building your event and the other aspects that need doing, the production, the lighting, the catering. That takes so much time. The whole point of using Cocktailhire is that your time gets devoted to other areas. The bar is no longer a concern you need to be worried for. We can send bartenders that can just make cocktails, or we also have the upgrade of flair bartenders. They elevate the event to obviously a whole new level. Once your event is booked with us, we'll turn up, begin building the bar in a place where you've allocated, unload the glassware, get everything built. The bartenders will be prepping all their fruit, ingredients, everything they need to make this event run smoothly. If they need to make sugar syrups, if they need to make coffee mixes for espresso martinis and all of those things, plenty of time to let that stuff cool down. Naturally, you've been doing this for years, as I've mentioned a few times now. You know how to compile an ingredient list, but we'll send one anyway once you've picked your cocktails, just so you've just got that extra point to check to make sure everything's going to go right. Then when the bartenders turn up, they can take care of preparing all of those fruits, ingredients, coffee, sugar, whatever it is that they have to do to make those drinks work. They're there in plenty of time to make that happen. Our bartenders, as standard, will turn up in white shirts, black trousers. This is just a base in which you can build on. Sometimes we have clients that want them to wear dinner jackets. Sometimes we have them want to wear ties, waistcoats, braces have even been brought in. These are things obviously your company can provide should they wish to, as our bartenders will turn up with a base of black trousers, white shirt and shoes. Another really big selling product that our company separates ourselves from the others is our bartenders have personality. This is rarer than you might think, and we get chosen above other companies because our bartenders have the ability to actually entertain, engage and talk with the guests. Of course, sometimes this isn't called for, in which case our bartenders are more than capable of shutting up, standing in a corner, making drinks. But 98% of our events that we attend, our bartenders are encouraged to engage with the guests, laugh with the guests, talk them through the drinks that they're making if they've got time, and just make the bar a really inclusive experience that you won't get with other companies. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to talk more with us, the numbers are on the website. Give us a shout, send us an email, whatever it is that your preferred level of contact, and we'll talk more about your events.